So I get really excited about everything that I do. And what happened, how this all came about was that we have some upcoming courses, and I thought, oh gosh, this would be so simple to kind of just help you with technique because it really has to do with the amount of water and color and controlling the brush. And this is all the different stages. And one way of doing that is putting a little masking right there. So all of these would have masking. Then you're going to paint the background, lift color out, get color right in here, add the shadow, and remove this. So let's break that down. I'm going to just anything that already has color. If you have masking on there, you're going to have a brighter highlight, which is nice, but you can do it this way too. The thing is, if you use the masking, then you have to decide where you want all your highlights and water drops to be ahead of time. So I'm going to go ahead, I'll use a big drop here. I'm going to get water right in here. I'm going to let it sit on the surface for a minute. Let's go ahead and get maybe another one over here, maybe another one up here, maybe smaller. Okay, just so we have some things there. Oh, now everybody's all happy. Okay, so what I usually do is take my brush like this, and then I just try to lift out the color on the bottom. Okay, so you're just going to lift, lift, lift. You could also use a scrub brush, but if you use a scrub brush, then you could disturb the surface of the paper. This doesn't really do too much. It just lifts out a little water and color, or a little color down here. I could also use a synthetic brush. It's going to be stiffer instead of the brush that's soft. So let's go ahead and lift that out. I'll work a little harder to get rid of some of that color. You can see it's just lifting now a little bit. Let's do this. And I could do more, but you get the idea. I'm doing this other one so that can dry. So I would take maybe a quinacridone magenta or a permanent rose, something like that, and maybe a Hansa yellow so it's close. And then I'm going to try to get a bit more color along the top so we can see those edges. And I'm standing up. If you sit down, you're going to have more control. Get a little bit more right in here. In there. Maybe get a bit more water in here. By putting the water in here, it's going to force that color out to the edge. That way we get that hard line that we don't usually want. I'm going to have to work to get that highlight because I didn't think about it ahead of time. Maybe lift out a little bit here and there. Now, this is the general idea. Then I'm going to dry this. And why I wanted this dry is because I want to get the shadow in there. Just like that. We're going to taper the edge. I like to make longer shadows. Then I'm going to go right underneath. That way it's going to create a bit of contrast. And if I want, I can lift a little color out right through here. And then let's go ahead and put them in the other ones. And I need to pay attention to how much water. If I'm using a synthetic brush, it's going to be too dry. I'm using a blend brush, so it holds a nice amount of water. I don't want too much color in the water to color ratio. I don't want that dry. It needs to have a nice amount of water in there. So these are all the things that I need to pay attention to. I'm going to let that dry for just a second and I'm going to show you something. So the challenge on this particular painting is that we didn't have hard shadows. It was more of a soft lit day, more foggy. So I had to create soft shadows. So this one would be like we have high contrast and we have more depth. And let's create a highlight. I can lift it out, but I'm going to do it a different way. So what I'm going to think about is, where do I want that highlight? I'll create one over here. I'll go right around here, make a little circle. Then I'm going to take some water and soften it because I want it to have more of an effect. I could also reshape the size of that. If I got it back to more of a white, then it's really going to stand out. Just like that. Go right up to the edge of that ring that I created. And I don't want to fill it all in. I'm going to go ahead and take my brush. Oops, I'm going to go back to the blend. I'm going to soften it and transition. And I could always take more time, but I really do like that a lot. Okay, everybody, I'll let you go. Thank you so much for joining me. And until next time, have fun and happy painting. Bye, everyone.